I'm Glenn Davies. I'm an instructor here in Alberta, Canada, in the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. I've been here for 35 years. We have a four-year program in automotive technology, where the students are taught for 2 months out of 12, so 2 months they come to school. First year is brakes, steering, hydraulics, and basic electricity, alignment, wheel balance, and suspension systems. Second year is engines. It's our major component, where we take apart, diagnose, and measure and run up engines. We have 2 engines we run. Both of them are GM in this case. One is the Ecotech high-tech 4-cylinder 2.2. And the second one is the GM V6 2.8. So it's old school technology and new school technology. Third year is all electronics, all computers and scan tools, fuel injection, and some diesels. Fourth year is automatic transmissions, air conditioning, and some diesels. And that's our program. Pass mark for our students is 65%. They must have at least 65% before they can go on to the next year. They have 10 months in the trade, 1,500 hours of work on task, and then they can come to school. And once we clear them to go back to work after the 2 months of training, then they can advance to the next year and the next year. Each year they write a board exam, and the board exam is 70% pass mark. And that is the provincial board exam, which doesn't have anything to do with us. We just prepare them for our exams, and then they go on to the board exam, and then they get qualified to go on to the next. Each year they must pass a board exam. At the end of 4 years, they must not only pass the board exam, they must pass the federal interprovincial exam, which is a pass mark of 70% as well. And then they are licensed for the world. They're licensed not only provincially, they're licensed federally, and they're licensed internationally.
All this training is something that Canada requires.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Province to province, they all have their little quirky differences, but basically the whole mandate is right across Canada, except Quebec, which is French-Canadian, and they have their own way of doing things in there.
In the U.S., anybody can play car doctor, play doctor house on cars.
Yes, that's right. They can buy a toolbox and open it and put a shingle on a wall and be a mechanic.
But Canada's different.
Yeah, Canada is a singularly most different course and training in the world. They send me over to China in Shanghai to train the Chinese, because the infrastructure of Chinese is just starting to grow up. They're just starting to get cars. And so I was over there training Chinese instructors to be instructors and to train them the knowledge, and then they can start their programs of training based on what Canada has. They all came over here, I went over there for a couple of years back and forth, and at the end of it all, they had to write the federal interprovincial seal and pass it at 75%, and then they were licensed federally for Canada. So then they took their diploma, went back to China in Shanghai, and started teaching there. And we leapfrog from country to country to country to country. We do it all over the world. So, yeah.
Were you Greg's teacher?
I was. He was a very good student, top student. We developed into the closest friendship that he's my brother. He's not anything but that. He's my dearest, 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 dearest friend. Thank you.
And he was a pretty good student, huh?
He was top of the grade.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
taught him
good.
in third year. Yeah,
That's
he's
good.
got a very good mind. Scares me some days. way further than me. Yeah. Way further than me. Yeah.
Okay.
I get caught up in the teaching aspect, and there is quite a bit of difference when you're teaching it. You're always constantly getting bombarded with new material and that, but we don't always get to practice it. Okay, so we would be a little bit rusty, because ours is about theory, about getting the students to understand the thing. But in Greg's world, as your world, it's a little bit more than that. You got to be able to apply it and get with it quickly, and be a quick access to problematic issues, and that's where our students really have a problem connecting. They don't really feel comfortable. They know something, but to be able to use it to take something new and diagnose it, it takes a lot of experience, a lot of exposure, and it's
putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing for most people.
Yeah.
You got to have an analytical mind to do it.
Glenn brought out the best of me. You brought it up.
So this is first year, and